Alright guys, so Overwatch just released a new competitive game mode called Stadium, where you can select a bunch of different abilities on, different heroes. I'm here to tell you one of the best kits I've found while playing in the playtest as Reinhardt, and that's going to be called the Bowser's Castle build. And why is it called the Bowser's Castle build? Well, that's because you're playing for your fire strike value, and when you go into Bowser's Castle, you're probably going to get set on fire, right? So that's what we want to really set up on the playing field here, is a Bowser's Castle simulation for the enemy team. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First power you should pick, because remember guys, the first round you get to pick a power, in round 3 you get to pick another, in round 5 and round 7 you get to pick different powers here. So going in round 1 to start off the game, you want to go and take the Magma Strike power. That's really going to start things off with the Bowser's Castle build, Look, you throw one, and then if you throw the second one within 2 seconds, you put down a mini Torbjorn ult. I mean, that's insane, right? For the first round. The first round, I believe you get about 3,500 tokens, so you won't be able to pick anything too crazy here, guys. So for the first round, I always like to just, pick some of these common items, pick whatever you like. Me personally, I like to go with some armor as well as ability power here. Why not? We're playing for our fire strike. We'd have about 1,000 left, so let's go with weapon power, right? It doesn't really matter, don't be too picky about these common items. Kind of pick whatever you like, whatever fits your play style. But yeah, later on in the round, we'll be picking, better abilities here. So after about the first round, I'm gonna guess you probably have anywhere between 8,000, and if you played a really good round, you might have 10,000 coins, right? Let's assume you got about 8,000 coins after the first round, and then you sell all of your items here, and you're about 9,000, maybe 10,000 on average. But I usually go into the second round with about 10,000 coins. So what I like to do going into the second round is get the Rocket Strike. And this Rocket Strike, guys, this is really insane. Like, just take a look here. I mean, look at these standard bots in the practice range. I mean, I'm almost one-shotting them, and then you got the Torbolt, and there you go. I mean, round 2, we're already off in an overpowered build. I mean, we already have an overpowered build in round 2. And then round 3, right, we get to pick another power. So I'm going to go and pick the Wilhelmingwagen or whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce this, to be honest. But I'm going to pick this because, it doesn't really fit into the Bowser's Castle build. But it's a power I'm going to take any game, I'm going to take it every single game, because it's just good. While Barrier Field is deployed, you can heal for 15% of the damage it mitigates and gain 30% move speed. I mean, that's crazy, right? You're healing yourself while you're shielding, and you move faster, something we've always wanted to have in the real game as Reinhardt. Let's say I get about 8,000 more coins, right? So I already have this, and it's been 2 rounds, and I'm at 1,800 coins. Or you know what? That's probably a really good game. Let's go and say I'm at 1,500 coins going in round 3. Let's be a bit, on the safe side of things. We're not going too crazy. We're playing a normal game. My next ability that I'm taking is going to have to be the, whatever this is called, Chimera's Maw. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I'm going to take this, right? Because you get better ability power, so now we're at 30%, because we already had 20, and we get increased radius. An increased radius on Fire Strike is insane, because the radius is already pretty generous, but let's say I throw my Fire Strike, like I miss this guy. I go wide right, but it still does, look at all that damage. I mean, you got the big radius, you got the 30% weapon power, and you also got the 50% increased projectile speed. I mean, these fire strikes, guys, are going to be really hard to dodge. Now, imagine you're playing a game and the enemies are clumped up. I mean, you're probably hitting 3 people per fire strike. And don't forget, guys, we got our Torbjorn power. I mean, like, look how overpowered this kit is, right? Going into round 4. Let's say we make it 4 rounds into our game. I'm going to have to go with, something like going into round 3. By the way, if you had 5,000 and you only used 4,000 on this, you should probably use your other 1,000 on, like, let's say I want to use it on something like survivability. I don't know, pick any of these, or maybe I have enough to do this, right? And then you can sell it later. So now let's say we got about 8,000, let's say we got at 10,000, because I feel like after 3 rounds of the game, you could probably have 24,000. It's pretty common. The next thing I'm going with here, guys, is probably the best item in the game for Reinhardt, and that's the Dampener Grip, guys. Let me go and read this out. It says 10% ability power, which plays into our build, 10% attack speed, and when you deal damage with your rocket hammer, you reduce the cooldown of your abilities by 1 second. That is insane, guys. Let me go and throw out my fire strikes, right? Look at my cooldown. I already have another one back. I swung on 2 people twice. It's insane. If I already use my pin, I'm getting my pin back faster too. Like, all of my abilities, like, this is absurdly broken. And honestly, guys, it's a power, or it's an item that I would take, you know, if I was playing a normal game, I'd probably take this first. But I'm playing for the Bowser's Castle build, and I wanted to start things off with the Fire Strike power-ups. I mean, Dampener's Grip, you got to take it every single time, right? You got to take it every time. So that's my round 4 loadout, is what I would have, assuming we have enough money, guys. And let's say we don't have enough money, you know, we're not playing the best game, we can't get that. Go ahead and get yourself, you know, something for survivability. The Vitality, convert 100 health into armor, plus get 10 armor. I mean, this is really insane, because look, I mean, this is the practice range, so the health values won't be the same, but in a real game, we'd probably have about 880 health and half of its armor right now. So if you're not really making enough money, you're gonna go for something like that, and then maybe get yourself, you know, like a Nano Cola or a wrist wraps for now, and then sell those later to get the Dampener Grip here, then fair enough, right? Kind of mix and match you're choosing. Not every game is gonna go exactly how I'm describing it, but I'm giving you guys a general idea here. So then round 5, we get another power up. Assuming we make it to round 5 and go that far, I'm going with the Shield Stampede. Probably one of the better powers in the game for Reinhardt, right? Because you pin and you're shielding, so you can't get slapped, you can't get naded, you can't get stunned out of it from the front, you can't get shot at. I mean, once again, guys, this is a really overpowered power. You know, I'd say I could see myself taking this round 1, you know, depending on what the enemies have. And then don't forget, you're also gonna have more money. It's kind of hard to tell without playing a real game how much I would actually have, but you know, the next thing I want to go with is I want to take the Vitality that I talked about. I want to have this no matter what, because it increases my survivability, and that's just always good. You know, you don't want to die, you want to be able to get your fire strikes off, right? So you want to live longer. Let's say that's all I had. Let's say, you know, I've made about 28,000 within 4 rounds of gameplay. So we got 3 power-ups and 4 items, and they're all very good items. And then going into round 6, let's say I got 8,000 to spare here, $8,000. I'm going with something like Nano Cola, guys. I think Nano Cola 20% ability power for 5,500 is a really good deal here, especially for our build, right? And I mean, look, we got 60% weapon power now. I mean, look what these fire strikes are going to do to these standard bots. This guy's almost one shot, right? Going in round 7, you know, last round of the game, I'm going to take the Impact Burst. Fire Strike triggers an explosion the first time it hits an enemy, dealing 20% of its damage in a 3-meter radius. So you got that explosion, hits the other rocket bot. You know, it's not the most broken thing in the game. That's why we're holding off till round 7 to get it, but it really plays for the Bowser's Castle idea. And, you know, you need another ability, right? You need another item. So let's go with something like, perfect, you know, the multi-tool. 10% cooldown reduction, so we get these fire strikes faster, and a bit more weapon power to play into our build, right? And again, guys, these rare items, you know, they're kind of mix and match. You know, you can really pick whatever you want. But if you're going for the Bowser's Castle build, you most definitely want these 3, right? You're going to want the Rocket Strike, you're going to want the Chimera's Maw, and you're going to want Dampener Grip. And you know, let's go and take a look at these other items real quick, just to get an idea of what they could offer us. Champion's Kit, 40% ability power could be insane if you want to save up for this. But these guys, these 3 items, as well as choosing your powers in this order, is going to be crucial. When do you want to use the Bowser's Castle build? It's going to be when you're playing against, like, okay, so we have only 5 tanks in Stadium, and it's going to be pretty good against almost any of these tanks, except for maybe D.Va, right? Because D.Va can eat a lot of your fire strikes, and that's what we're playing for. But yeah, remember, the enemy tank can't swap, so whatever you see them on to start, they're going to be on the whole game. So keep that in mind when you're picking your build. Let's go and jump into a game, right? So we can see some footage of me actually playing around with this. Alright guys, so I just loaded into this Stadium match. Here we go, round 1. Gonna pick Reinhardt, of course, because remember, you guys, you can't swap your hero after picking it in Stadium, so don't like try to go the Bowser's Castle build as Reinhardt in round 3, but you're playing Junker Queen in round 1. You can't do that. Pretty soon here we're gonna see what the enemy team has. Hopefully it's not a D.Va for the sake of this video. Also, it looks like I'm on 166 MS, but hey, you know what? The Bowser's Castle build is going to make it through anyway. So they got a Reinhardt, a Maisel, a perfect comp for the Bowser's Castle build. So again, the first power we want is this Magma Strike power up. And remember guys, you can't select it and then get rid of it. You have to lock it in. You can't exchange it. You can't get it back. So yeah, this is the one I want. Trail of Lava, 2 fire strikes. So I'm taking this. And you know, like I said earlier, it doesn't really matter what we pick here. So I'm going to go with some armor. And I'm going to go with a bit better weapon power as well as ability power. Why not, you know, get well-rounded here in the first round. Alright, so let's get right into it, guys. Playing the first round in this new map. Yeah, got a bit of experience here. On some latency as well, but we gotta do what we gotta do. It's alright. So already off to a quick start with our Torbolt there after our fire strikes. Remember, you have to use your second one within 2 seconds after using your first one. It looks like I'm gonna get cooked on the first fight here. It's all good. You're gonna get back into the next fight here. 1 fire strike. 2 fire strikes. I hope that's... There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yep. Guy gets cooked because he's on the wrong build. And we're going to go and clean house here. And remember, guys, I don't want a bunch of comments being like, bro, why are you in third person, bro? Do you have to be in third person? You can toggle it, you know? You can toggle it. If you want to play in first person, you go to options, and then you go to stadium, and you change that to first person. I'm going to go set up a turbo here. I'm trying to use all my fire strikes consecutively, so I'm not really holding on to them for too long. That's one of the things you're going to have to adapt to for the Bowser's Castle build. You throw both down main. Wow, I mean, like, this is really good. It farms ult charge, does a lot of damage, and looks cool. I mean, you can't really go wrong with this. And again, I don't really care about hitting these fire strikes, you know. I'm just putting down the trail. That's what I'm invested in right now. Alright, we can worry about hitting the fire strikes when we get some boosted radius and projectile speed. Yeah, I wonder if the nano's my trail there. Good question. Alright, put down a molten trail. Yep. How do they get to the point? I'm just gonna shatter down main. That's pretty free. Alright, so there's round 1, guys, and let's see how much money I made. 12,000. See, I didn't even do that much. I made 12,000, guys. How much money do I have? Okay, look, if I sell everything, which you should always do after round 1, because you know, I don't really care about all this stuff. I got 12,000. Now I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go 10,000. I'm gonna go 10,000 with a rocket strike first. I know in the practice range I went rocket strike second, but you know, I kind of underestimated the amount of money you'd get. 20% ability power plus the projectile speed. That's a good deal right there. Get some more armor. Yeah, there we go. That's our build for now. And again, I want to reiterate how important it is to really use your fire strikes back to back. In a normal game, you might not do that, right? If you're playing like ranked 5v5 or 6v6, if you're just playing regular ranked, not stadium, you know, probably wouldn't recommend doing that. But you know, stadium with this build, you really want to play near fire strikes, so we're gonna do 2 back-to-back fire strikes. Let's go and get ready to use our fire strikes here. Look at that increased power. I mean, that man almost died. I had to use cryo just because I landed 2 fire strikes on him. This guy's walking backwards on Reinhardt. Oh, I just made the mistake of using a fire strike when I did not have 2 of them available. Getting in this right area. I see this Reinhardt pinning him, counterpin him, and I'm ready to leave my trail on the playing field. I mean, that's pretty broken. I mean, maybe we'll figure out some other ones. Obviously, you got like the flying Reinhardt, where you can just like go to the skybox. That's pretty cool too. But I mean, if you're looking to win the game and farm elo, you definitely go Bowser's Castle. I think you don't want to play around. That's that pin that we need him to use. Now we can pin him ourselves without him counter pinning. We shouldn't even need the pin to hit. We just need the damage. Ooh. You see, mid-fight, I'm kind of using my fire strikes like I would regularly, and I think that's fine. You can't always play for the trail. Alright. You know what, I'm going to send my fire strike into the sky to get maximum trail distance here on the walk-up. I mean, think about it. How broken is this? It covers the whole map. And that's a power you can select in round 1. I mean, how do you lose games if you take this? Oh, an unfortunate Ajax. I mean, what? Yo. Alright, let's go ahead and get to round 3 here, guys, and we get another power-up here in round 3. The biggest power-ups, or the biggest items, you know, they're going to come to me in these early rounds. Like, look, I got 10,000 to work with. I can already get this. And the next thing I'd want to get, if we go more rounds, again, would be this Dampener's Grip. But yeah, we're playing for the Bowser's Castle, but we got to go with this. And we got 6,000 left over, so we're going to go with the armor thing that I talked about. Again, I think armor is really good because, you know, as you're getting those fire strikes off, you're getting the swings off, you don't want to die, so you need some more survivability here. And we got 2,000 left, so why not just invest into more armor, right? You just can't die. So now we have really broken fire strikes, really broken survivability, and we're going to go and select the Wilhelm, whatever this is called, power, round 3. And it keeps suggesting that I look at these example builds, guys. You know, don't look at these. They got no idea what they're talking about. Whatever, like, Barrier, Bulwark, Playing for Your Shield, that's trash. And then Flame of Justice, just some, like, budget fire strike build, guys. Like, these guys want to make the Bowser's Castle build, but they don't know what they're talking about. Just use the things that I'm using. We're going to get you high elo in Stadium. This one's running first person, so we can really get different perspectives on the fire strike build here, on the Bowser's Castle build. Alright, so you know, 1, I mean, look at the overhand throw. I mean, look how much damage I'm doing with these fire strikes. The game realized how broken my fire strikes are. I'm throwing them overhand now. But yeah, I mean, I already have an Earth Shatter, and I've only played like one team fight. Like, I died the first team fight, and I played half of this one. Like, just shatter this guy. Ooh, that's exactly what I wanted to stun that Coalescence. I mean, perfect. Just great Bowser's Castle gameplay here. Hey, this is insane. Look at the Reinhardt's damage, and look at mine. I died first fight. I've doubled this guy's damage. I mean, he has 18,000 coins this game. I have 23,000. That's how much more value I'm getting than him. Because the build I selected. And look how generous the radius is. Again, like, you know, I don't even have to hit these fire strikes for them to do damage. It's just insane. This guy's shatter. I need to watch out. Alright, you know, I'm just going to pin in, you know. Whatever. I'm going to get shattered. It happens. He was waiting for me that long. He can have it. I mean, the Bowser's Castle build. I don't think we're going to be losing this map, guys. I think this might be the game to go. I mean, that's how much damage I'm really doing in this game. Like, that trail's not even there anymore. You know, you just get free fire strike kills because you have increased radius and insane ability power. Okay, that ticking damage could probably be going away at this point in the game. Looks like we got one more round to show off this build, so I'm going to go and take that one ability I was talking about. I'm going to go and take the Dampener's Grip. I think I need to keep the armor. Or I could go 8% health, armor, shields. I don't know which one's better. I haven't really ran the numbers. I mean, we could find out, right? If I use Mecha Z series, I'm at 870. I think that might be better value. I think I still have less armor than I would, but why not? You know, we got money to get the more expensive item. Let's go with that one. Alright, so now we got the trail, we got more radius, we got more power, and we got faster projectile speed, and we're going to get our fire strikes back faster when we do swing damage. I mean, I don't really care. I'm going to throw some fire strikes over here. There we go. Put a trail on the point. Do a lot of damage. And look how back. I mean, I already have pretty much both fire strikes back because I just swung on them. I mean, look how broken this item is. You know, that's something, again, guys, you could take it in round 1 and it wouldn't be like, that would be a good play. Let's throw it now. They went bottom left. Blunder. I blundered my fire strikes, but guess what? I was gonna get them back faster, but that guy died really fast, so. Oh, looks like we got a C9 on our hands. That's embarrassing. It's a bit embarrassing. Oh. You know what? I would also nano the guy with the Bowser's Castle build. So now they're going to go bottom left. So I'm going to put a Molten Trail on their walk up if they do that again. I didn't really scout too well last time. It could have been a better trail, you know. I could have done it from like where I'm standing now. This guy's shatter, watch out. Yep. Predicted. And we're going to kill this guy after his cryo. Pin this guy off the map. Oh, no we're not. Alright. And there we have it, guys. Bowser's Castle. I don't lose a map. I mean, I don't lose a map. You know, I would love to show off the full potential, but you're not going to go 7 rounds, 6 rounds, 5 rounds. Get the Bowser's Castle build on. So, yeah, I hope that's a good explanation, guys. Gonna go and figure out more builds as well, right? Because the Bowser's Castle stuff is really, really good, but I'm going to figure out more builds for different playstyles and keep you guys posted with more videos. So, you know, let me know if you like this one. Let me know what you want to see more of. Alright, guys. Have a great rest of your day.